Morning, gang. Well, here we are. It's Inauguration Day. And, for all those who say there's still going to be a rabbit pulled out of the hat today, if y'all noticed yesterday that Trump basically gave his farewell address. So, don't expect to see anything. He's going to be on a plane to Mar-a-Lago, and that'll be it. He will be down in Florida. So what does today bring? Well, we've all talked about this. Pretty much you guys all, know. I mean, it's the introduction of the left's agenda, with Biden and Harris coming in and, Congress, both houses of Congress, of course, as well. Here's the thing, okay? And I'll use the term know thy enemy, all right? And not that, we're Americans, okay? Still you think we'd all come together over something, World War II, 9/11, whatever it would be. We've come together over those. But for some reason, we have a bunch of, as usual, leftists who want to fan the flames as much as they play up on being, we've got to bring the country back together. They do everything but, okay? And we've talked about AOC and her re-education camps and all this sort of stuff. But did anybody catch the news and Steve Cohen, the representative from Tennessee, okay, the other side of it, Memphis, okay? Tennessee's a solid red state until you get to the far west tip where you got Memphis, and Memphis is blue as blue gets, okay? Cohen is the only Democrat in federal government from the U.S. The rest of our, obviously both senators are GOP, all the rest of the representatives are. Cohen decided to come up in some drunken stupor, is the only thing I can think of, with his idea that the inauguration isn't safe because there's 25,000 National Guard troops, okay? And most of those are probably conservative, and he's all worried that there might be some radical National Guardsmen who are going to take it upon themselves to hurt Biden and Harris. Okay, if this isn't stoking fears and being as absolutely asinine as you possibly could be, I don't know what is. To go out and say that members of the military are actually going to literally start something like that is got to be the most irresponsible thing that's ever come out of somebody's mouth. And God knows the Democrats have a habit of putting their foot in their mouth 3 or 4 times a day. Get them in front of a microphone and they'll screw it up, okay? I don't know if this guy's trying to top Joe Biden for gaffes, but that's pretty much where he's got to be, Now, I'm ex-military, okay? I served during the Reagan years. I served during the Bush years. That's fine, okay? I will tell you this. Most people in the military are conservative. That is true, okay? You got to admit it. The left is, for the most part, anti-military, so why the hell are they going to join, okay? The left, the military is for the conservatives, the Peace Corps is for the liberals, okay? It's just kind of how it works, okay? I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but that's reality, okay? But we all take an oath to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, as much as I despise Joe Biden, okay, and I despise Kamala Harris, and I got to think I speak for pretty much everybody in the military, nobody's going to be dumb enough to break their oath, okay, and determine for themselves that, who's a enemy, foreign or domestic, okay? That's what a chain of command is for, okay? And leadership on down will tell you, all right? So Cohen coming out and saying that they're worried about National Guardsmen causing problems, let's just use it this way, is not, it's just insane, okay? Now, The inauguration, of course, today is going to be virtual. All right. There's, no civilians, nobody there other than the military. So basically what this is going to look like is a parade on Red Square, just minus all the rocket launchers and everything, okay, and the ICBMs. Congratulations. Now, whether or not the military is going to be all sorts of thrilled about who the next president is, that remains to be seen. Okay, depends on who join. We'll see that over time as as the enlistment rates go up or down, and a lot of that will depend on the economy, which Biden will be responsible for, and it'll also be dependent on foreign policy, which obviously Biden is responsible for. So now you get back to Cohen again. And I guess the latest stories now are they're taking away the ammunition from the National Guardsmen because of Cohen's comments, because they're afraid that these National Guardsmen might use the ammunition against in the inauguration. So tell me, what's the purpose of having them there? So they're a body in the way, all right? If there's no civilians there, there's basically not going to be any threat. They're all, any protesters will be on the other side of the fence, so no big deal there. So we brought 25,000 people in to hold up a fence. Okay. Then everybody's all worried about, the fact that they had to deputize them. Okay, now please understand why. These guys are brought in from Wisconsin and Mississippi and whatever it is, okay? They're on federal land. The only authority they have on federal land is if they are a federal officer. Because they are a state National Guard, the National Guard in Mississippi has certain rights in Mississippi, okay? They don't have them if they cross into Louisiana, for example. But now they're going onto federal land. D.C. is not a state yet. Okay, so they've got to deputize them. So they have some sort of arrest authority, if you will. All right, so that's all fine and good. But what I'm saying is know your enemy. Your enemy is not the military. Your enemy is idiots like Cohen, who are trying to feed the flames and stoke the fire. All right. What I'm saying, bottom line for all of us guys, is this, real simple. Today's going to be an ugly day, all right? Know what your surroundings are. Know who's out there. If there's people in your neighborhood that were staunch liberals, big Joe Biden supporters and everything like that, okay? You may have, cars going down the street, blowing their horns in celebration or whatever it is. God forbid you live in New York or something like that, and you got all the AOC crowd up there or whatever it is, or pick one, Maxine Waters district. There's enough wackadoodles out there. You're gonna have some support for what's going on today. This is where I say know your enemy. Okay. Depending on where you are, 4th of July, people like to shoot guns off instead of fireworks or whatever it is. Just be very, very careful today. Watch what's going on, because you got enough nutcases out there like Cohen that are running his mouth, and they're going to incite somebody. We're hearing all these stories on, I guess, the comments about a Trump army, that now that he's no longer in control of the U.S. Armed Forces, it's all the Trump supporters. That's going to be Trump's new army, that we're all radicalized and we're as bad as ISIS. This is the propaganda they're pushing out. They talk about trying to bring the country back together, but calling 75 million people as bad as ISIS, okay, you think deplorable was bad? All right, calling us terrorists they're pushing for it, okay? And mind you, they're all going to sit back in their little velvet chairs, sipping their cognac with a cigar in their mouth, watching all the peons, us, duke it out for them. That's what they're trying to do, guys. So walk away from it unless it comes to your doorstep and then end it, okay? But let them be idiots, know your enemy, and let them eat themselves alive, because the far left doesn't like the moderate left. They'll inevitably eat themselves apart in the next couple of years, because the Bernie Sanders AOC wing is not going to have anything to do with the moderate wing. I can't even really name one right now. Maybe Joe Manchin. Okay. And they're gonna fight like crazy. I mean, there's something on Story today where the far left thinks AOC is a moderate and Nancy Pelosi's right leaning. Okay. What the hell does that make us? I mean, that means every single Trump supporter is a far right extremist. I mean, that's what they're trying to, that's the propaganda that's out there right now. So try to brush it off, try to ignore it, try to stay away from it. Let them eat themselves alive. That's what they'll wind up doing, guys. Okay. I know it's going to be a screwed up day. Just don't turn it on TV. Just kick back, relax, play with the dog, eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, do something. But stay out of this mess today. I don't care if you're in Ottumwa, Iowa, all right? Don't get involved in it, okay? It's just not worth it. Last one, guys. Tomorrow morning, we are the USSA. Have a good one. Pinball out.